for a very, very special book launch of my dear friend, guide, and philosopher. And I feel very proud and very humbled and very, very privileged to be here on the banks of Mother Ganga to launch the Indian edition of a book which is already on top of many bestsellers abroad, Hollywood to Himalaya. So, Sadhvi ji, आप हॉलीवुड से यहाँ कैसे पहुँची?
Rujuta ji, I'm so happy to be with you.
Thank
What
you.
a joy कि माँ गंगा ने आपको खींच लिया मुंबई से, that you've come to be with us today. And it's really Ganga's grace. 26 years ago, at the age of 25, I came to India with a backpack. I had graduated from Stanford undergrad.
Wow.
I was in the midst of doing a PhD in psychology, thinking that I knew something, without realizing that there was so much I didn't know. And I was living a life in which, from the outside, लगेगा कि ओह उसके पास सब कुछ है. People would have said, God, she had all of the opportunity, all of the privilege, growing up quite literally in Hollywood.
Yes.
In the midst of all of that beautiful wealth and success and opportunity, etc. And yet, that peace, that joy that we really want in life, wo shanti, wo anand, wo जीवन का जो रस है, वो नहीं था. I didn't have any of that, but I also didn't even know that that existed.
Wow.
मुझे लगा, the way we're taught in the West is, if you want to be happy and successful, you need to have a lot of money, have a good education, get a good degree, get a good job, make a lot of money, look nice, own the right clothes, look nice in the right clothes, और फिर आप खुश हो जाएंगे.
Correct.
But none of us were actually deeply happy. And in my life, I also had experienced a lot of challenge and difficulty and even trauma in the midst of the privilege and opportunity and blessings. And I really thought, that's who I am. I identified very much with, I am the victim of this, or the survivor of that, or the one struggling with this. And when I came to India, और वो भी मुझे इंडिया के बारे में कुछ भी मालूम नहीं था.
Really?
I didn't know anything about India, except that I loved Indian food. I could have been your poster girl.
Yeah, I'm still up.
I was a strict vegetarian since the age of 15. And this one. I was a strict vegetarian from the age of 15. And I had seen how difficult it was traveling in Europe, even across the United States, as a strict vegetarian. When India was suggested as a place to travel, I said yes because I knew कि कम से कम इंडिया में मैं आराम से खाना खा पाऊंगी, मैं खुशी से खाना खा पाऊंगी, कि इंडिया में मुझे 2 बार पूछना नहीं पड़ेगा कि अच्छा, is it really pure veg?
Right.
So मैंने हाँ किया था आने के लिए as just an adventure. I was an avid traveler. I loved traveling. And so thought, okay, yes, let's go to India, just on a semester off of my PhD program. Rishikesh was the very first place we came. I opened a 500-page Lonely Planet guidebook in Delhi. उसी समय 1996 की बात थी. कोई Google नहीं था.
Right.
इंटरनेट जैसे हम जानते हैं वो इंटरनेट भी नहीं था.
Correct.
तो एक लोनली प्लैनेट गाइडबुक था अपने पास, जो मैंने दिल्ली में खोला और मैंने कहा कि Rishikesh. Just like that, Rishikesh. And we come to Rishikesh, and I stood actually right here on the banks of Ganga. मुझे परमार्थ के बारे में कुछ मालूम नहीं था. But I stood right here on the banks of Ganga, had Mother Ganga's darshan. And it was like this veil was pulled off of my eyes.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And I felt such a deep connection to Ganga, to the divine, to my higher self that I had never experienced. At the age of 25, having struggled with, as I mentioned, I had been through abuse, I had been through abandonment, I had had an eating disorder, I had suffered from depression, I had been through so much amidst all of the great success and all of the opportunity that I thought managing my life, managing my food, managing my emotions, managing my schoolwork, managing my relationships, I thought, this is the best that life gets. किसी ने मुझे बताया नहीं कि actually you can be free. Actually there's an alternative. Life is not just management.
Right.
Life is divine bliss and joy, samadhi. But मुझे मालूम नहीं था. ऋषिकेश आए, गंगा के किनारे खड़े होके गंगा जी के दर्शन किया. And I knew that this is my home. ऐसे अनुभव हुआ कि मुझे यहाँ रहना है. And then it just became the most beautiful series of divine grace. As I walked through Parmarth Nikatan one day, we were staying in a hotel.
Wow.
I found Parmarth Nikatan because it was a very beautiful, clean pathway from the hotel to the banks of Ganga, right? So everything else, the alley is not so clean.
Right.
Or the America se aate hue, you know.
Right, of course, yeah.
But Parmarth Nikatan was so clean and so beautiful. I started using it as just a pathway from the hotel to the banks of Ganga. एक दिन मैं जा रही थी आश्रम के through, और एक आवाज सुना. And the voice said, you must stay here.
Really?
मैं मुड़ के देखा, who spoke? There was no one. I thought, okay, I imagined it. Clearly, if there was no person, there must have not been a voice.
Right.
फिर 30 सेकंड के बाद दोबारा सुना, you must stay here. फिर मैं मुड़ के देखा, no one. I was a scientist. I was an academic. I was getting a PhD in pediatric neuropsychology.
Wow.
I was not a mystic. I was not a religious person who heard voices. So I thought, chalo, there must not be a voice because there's no person.
Correct.
And I was just about to ignore it again, when my own voice inside me said, listen to this voice.
Kya
Listen
baat
to
hai?
it. So I walked into the office and I said, I want to stay.
Really?
Just like that. Just off the street, I want to stay. Lambi kahani. But at the end of the day, finally, I had Puja Swamiji's darshan, Puja Swami Chidanand Saraswati Ji Maharaj, the president and spiritual head of the ashram. And when I had his darshan, I realized this is why I'm meant to stay. That it's here,
Wow.
unke charan mein, learning from him, doing seva. That this is where I'm supposed to be. And of course, my parents and everybody thought I had gone completely crazy,
Of course, yeah.
brainwashed, joined a cult, something or other.
Right, right.
And yet, I knew this is the truth. This is where I'm meant to be. The joy and the peace, the meaning in life that I found was so powerful. And then at Kani Orti, just say I realized I'm really supposed to stay. तो पूज्य स्वामी जी का दर्शन करने के बाद first time मैं बाहर जा रही थी to go back to the hotel. Just to pack up bags and come, but to go.
Correct, yeah.
I get to the hand pump in the middle of the ashram, and my feet freeze, as though I had stepped in crazy glue. I could not pick my feet up off the ground.
Wow.
Pehle maine socha कि I've got some horrible disease, tetanus, polio, something. Then I thought, chalo, maybe my legs just fell asleep. मैं नीचे बैठ रही थी ज़मीन पे पूज्य स्वामी जी के साथ. वो आदत नहीं है.
Right.
But no pain, no tingles, no nothing. But I couldn't leave. A few moments later, and you've got to imagine, by the way, me, so 25-year-old white American girl standing in the middle of the ashram, flailing her arms like I'm an airplane and I'm about to take off, trying to move. But my legs wouldn't move. Finally, these kids come running down the main pathway. They're playing tag or something. They come running down. And instinctively, my piche har gaye. And then I thought, oh, I'm free. But I still couldn't walk forward.
Oh.
And finally I realized I could only move back in the direction of Pujya Swamiji's area. And I couldn't actually move in the direction out of the ashram. To ab socho. People talk about the touch of God. And I always say, for me, the touch was like being hit over the head with a baseball bat. That maybe usse pehle there had been some gentle touch. Jo maine mehsoos nahi kiya. So God had to come down and actually, touch me very hard. Ki tum yahi ruk jao. Yahi tumhare dharm hai. And wo 26 saal pehle ki baat thi. I've been here now 26 years.
Oh, that's amazing.
And it's been such an incredible experience. And when he made me let go of the anger, of the pain that I had felt and was still experiencing from the trauma that I had gone through in my life, he made me come and stand in the waters of Mother Ganga. And he said, give it to Ganga. All of your pain, all of your anger, just give it to Ganga. Maine socha, I was a psychology PhD student, कि उसका कोई process है, therapy, counseling, ye wo, कि you don't just give it to a river.
Right.
But I realized this instruction was given to me by this divine being, this sant, this master. And so I made a pledge. I knew it wasn't going to work. But I made a pledge कि कम से कम मैं इसको sincerely करूँगी.
क्या बात है?
कि मैं मजाक नहीं करूँगी. मैं गंभीरता से करूँगी. But I thought, no chance it's going to work, but just मैं sincerely करूँगी. I stood in Ganga after the Ganga Aarti, and I held her water in my hands. And I offered, as he said, all of the pain and the anger and the whole story and identification around I'm the one who was abused. I'm the one who was abandoned. I'm the one who suffers from this. I'm the one who suffers from that. And Ma Ganga took it. And 26 years later, what I've seen is, if we really let it go, the divine takes it and we can be free.
Wow.
And that for me has just been the greatest gift.
That's really powerful and moving and also empowering. Are you actually saying that anyone who has suffered from trauma or abuse can have an experience that is similar to yours?
Absolutely. इसलिए मैंने किताब लिखा. That was the whole purpose behind the book. I had already done, an 18-minute TED Talk,
Right.
but I actually put all of the hundreds of hours into writing Hollywood to the Himalayas for that very reason, because I wanted people to know I'm not cut from some different cloth. I didn't come out of the womb like this. I had a very normal childhood and early life like other people have. We all have different challenges. We have different situations. But I was in school. I studied. I did sports. I liked boys.
Correct.
I had anger, and I had jealousy, and I had desire, and I had fear. I had all of the things that you would say normal people have. Very much unlike the biographies that we get of most of our revered spiritual masters, who are men who basically come out of the womb enlightened. And I wrote the book Taki Log Samajh Payenge. Ki, if you didn't come out of the womb enlightened, don't worry. If you have anger and fear and lust and greed and jealousy and sadness and depression even, or addiction even, or you've suffered trauma even, you too can be free in the same way that I was taught. Because all we have to do is surrender, is be prepared to actually say to the universe, I'm ready to let go. I'm ready to forgive. I'm ready not to hold on to this story, to this drama, to this false identity. I'm ready to let go. Because when you don't forgive, that keeps you stuck.
Correct.
And a lot of people say, well, how can I forgive because what this person did is unforgivable? But the truth is, we don't forgive because jo samne wale ne kiya theek kiya. That's not what forgiveness is. We forgive because we deserve to be free.
Wow.
Jo bhi kiya hoga. Whatever someone did in their anger, in their pain, in their confusion, in their ignorance, in their ego, that's their karmic package. But whatever their karmic package is, you still deserve to be free. But in order to find that freedom, we have to let go. And so I wrote the book because my personal journey, Jivan Yatra, was actually from Hollywood to the Himalayas, quite literally, via Stanford University.
Via Stanford, via Delhi.
Exactly. But even people whose Jivan Yatra is different, jahan bhi ho, wherever your life takes you, whatever your dharma is, wherever your karm bhumi may be, it doesn't matter. Because it's not the physical location, it's the mindset. And that Hollywood to Himalayan mindset shift is really what's most important. And that's something everyone can do.
Oh, this is great.
The Hollywood mindset says you are your body. Its size, its shape, its color, its age, its weight, exactly. All of that, you are its career,
Correct.
its bank account, its relationships,
Yeah.
its whole story, its history. You are that.
Correct.
The Himalayan way, because of course, in that way of thinking, we suffer.
Right.
I'm never quite beautiful enough, successful enough, rich enough, popular enough, all of
enough.
these thin enough, exactly. Never quite any of those things enough. And so we suffer.
Right.
But the Himalayan way of thinking says you have a body, but you're not the body. You are the soul. You are spirit. You are divinity. You are consciousness. You are love. You are truth. And so that way of thinking actually is an end to the suffering. And that mindset shift from the Hollywood way of thinking to the Himalayan way of thinking is something that everyone can do,
That's
wherever
great.
they are. It's not about your religion. It's not about your place of living. It's not about whether you're a sannyasi or a householder. It doesn't matter. It's just a matter of shifting your mind from I am this physical body, what has happened to it, what it does, what it earns, what it looks like, its place in society, to I am soul, I am spirit, I am divinity. Means I am born, I am full, I'm whole, I'm complete, I am divine. And then the body becomes just a beautiful vehicle, sharir dak mandir hai.
Correct.
Then it becomes just a beautiful way to experience creation, to see Mother Ganga, to listen to chanting, to touch the arms of a loved one. But it's no longer something I identify as.
Wow. That's nice. So I really find it very interesting that you're saying it's a Himalayan mindset. Now you had to come to Mother Ganga and you have had the blessing to experience this. What about people who cannot come to Mother Ganga to experience this? You know, how do they experience the mind shift? How do they experience the Himalayan mindset?
Beautiful. You know, Puja Swamiji always says, ऐसे नहीं है कि जहाँ हिमालय है वहाँ शांति है लेकिन जहाँ शांति है वहाँ हिमालय है.
क्या बात है.
So this is
Amazing.
what Puja Swamiji always says. So wherever you are, obviously, agar aap aa sakenge, come to Parmarth Nikatan. The doors are always open. Our hearts are open to welcome you and your family. But don't worry if you can't. Those Himalayas are in our mind, in our heart. If you can, wherever you are, find a body of water, a river, a lake, an ocean, a stream, और अगर कुछ भी नहीं है, your shower, your bathtub, a tree, and the earth beneath the tree. Some beautiful expression of Mother Nature and the divine universe, and offer from your heart your pain, your anger, your grudges, all of that you're holding on to. Because the truth is, if you're hurting today from something that happened more than 7 or 8 years ago, there's not one cell in your body today to which that happened.
Oh.
And that's the amazing thing. Every single cell of our body keeps regenerating. The skin cells regenerate every few days. The inner organs take 6, 7, 8 years. But within 7, 8 years, every cell of the body has regenerated. So if I say, I was abused, well, who was abused?
Right.
Show me that body. Show me the part that was abused. Haini, it no longer exists. Show me the you who was lied to, who was cheated, who was betrayed, who was harmed, who was left behind. If it happened more than that many years ago, which for most of us it did, we carry
yes,
these childhood
absolutely.
traumas
Yeah,
for
yeah.
our lives. That is no longer with you, but we carry it in our minds. That's why Shastra mein kehte hain, man eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayo. The mind is the key to your bondage or your freedom.
Wow.
And so if our mind is holding on to this identity, to this pain, to these grudges, I'm going to carry something that ended decades ago into my life today.
Right.
I'm going to suffer today because of something that happened years ago. But it's only my own mind that's making it happen. So wherever you are, take that anger, take the grudges, take the pain, and offer them. You know, wherever we invoke the name of Mother Ganga, she's there. So wherever you are, in whatever body of water, just say, Jai Ma Gange,
Wow.
Jai Ma Gange,
Jai
and
Ma.
offer it. Jai Ma Gange. It could be into your river, your stream, your lake, your bathtub,
Oh yes, yeah.
and offer it. And really be prepared to let go and to forgive. And you can be free. And I've seen it in my life. I've seen it in the lives of so many people. And you'll see, because also, obviously, in the book, it's not just about that. That's the beginning part. It's also about the whole 25 years that I've lived in India since that happened. And all of the beautiful experiences of being initiated, taking mantra, learning a mantra, learning all about our beautiful heritage and culture, taking vows of sannyas. What's it like to become celibate suddenly? Right? When that was never part of your
Correct.
mindset. What is
Yeah.
it like to be a 29-year-old American woman and take vows of celibacy, which is how old I was when I took sannyas?
Wow.
And what's it like to be a disciple? What's it like to have a guru? What's it like to be a woman
Yes.
in a man's world?
Oh,
Which
yes.
is true not only in the world of religion, but it's true in the world of business. It's true in so many worlds. And that same mindset from Hollywood to Himalayan, that same shift in mind from thinking I am a body to realizing I am consciousness and love and soul and spirit is what has guided me through all of the other challenges of these 26 years and also of all of the ecstasy. So it's also all about our spiritual pilgrimages, the yatras, to Kailash Mansarovar. What that's like. Up to Gomukh, bathing in Ganga in Gomukh, being in the Kumbh Mela. So it's, you could say it's the agony and the ecstasy of a spiritual life.
Wow, that is beautiful. That's beautiful. I want to ask you two quick questions, okay? One is, you said that you offered your pain and everything with gambhirta, with seriousness, like it's going to work. My first question is, how do we make that happen in our life? How do we bring that gambhirta in our life and believe that this is going to work and know that we are not hallucinating? And number two is, which is the favorite part of your book? Do you have a favorite part in this book?
So first of all, in terms of generating that sincerity, it really is about us being prepared to let go. Because the truth is, we hang on to our stories because they give us a really good excuse. I have an excuse for not living in joy, living in peace, living in freedom. If I can say, well, I was abused, I was betrayed, I was lied to, I was harmed, I was abandoned. It's a great excuse, ready-made excuse.
Right.
If I'm going to really let it go, I need to be prepared to actually be free. Meaning to stop using my excuses as a crutch. So that gambhirta can only come if I actually am prepared to no longer use that story as a crutch in my own life. To no longer live in that drama. And to really say to God, like, I've seen it. I know what it's like living in my drama.
Right.
I'm ready. I'm ready to try to let go of this drama so that I can actually experience real joy. Because the more we hold on, the stucker we are,
Correct.
and we can never actually experience real joy and peace. So we have to let go. You realize you have no other option. And in terms of the favorite part of the book,
of the book.
you know, it's so hard. Each chapter as I wrote it became my favorite chapter. So obviously the chapter of letting go of my pain, of my anger in Ganga, you could say is my favorite because it brought about me being here.
Right.
That was the moment of transformation. But I also love every story of learning from Puja Swamiji, for example. I am not a pen. He held up a pen one day. He said, "You are not a pen." His way of teaching me I'm not the body. I loved being able to tell the stories of some of the most ecstatic spiritual experiences that I had. I loved being able to tell stories of the Kumbh Mela, of Kailash Mansarovar Yatra, of Gomukh Yatra,
Nice.
of that ecstasy. And honestly, I loved being able to share the real, raw, vulnerable, open, honest struggles with celibacy, with being a disciple, with desire, with being a woman,
Correct.
with all of that, because I know that all of you are struggling with, if
Yes.
not all of that, at least some of that. And I loved being able to share with people that there actually is a way out. And I found it. Not because I'm somehow specially blessed or cut from a different cloth. But I think I was given it so that I could share it with you.
Oh, beautiful.
And it's been such a blessing to be able to share Hollywood to the Himalayas with everyone.
Yes.
And to see people really find their own healing and transformation.
Oh, that's great. That is great. Now I think as the last thing, I'm going to ask you to sign this.
Of course, of course. Do you have a pen?
Oh,
Somebody will have a pen.
no.
Sure, pen है अपने पास?
पेन कोई बात नहीं हम लोग बाद में साइन कर लेंगे you know?
कोई बात नहीं. हाँ, wonderful.
Yes. ताकि ऑफिशियल लॉन्च हमारा
Done,
कंप्लीट हो जाए.
done. Official launch.
Yes. Where all can we buy this?
You can buy it on Amazon. You can buy it on any of the online places, and you can also buy it in bookstores across the country. And if your favorite bookstore does not have it, just tell them to order it.
Yes.
It's been published by Jaico, and they've done a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful job.
Yes. And you've written it with all your heart.
Yes, yes. Open heart.
Yes. I think it was also my voice which was saying just stay back because I want you to be in my life. I want to be sitting like this with you on the banks of Mother Ganga. I want to be here when your book gets launched.
It's been such a joy to be with you here today. And I look so forward to connecting with all of our online community.
Oh, yes. Are you going to be doing any kind of a giveaway of signed copies or when people come here for Aarti?
Sure, absolutely. Absolutely we will. And we'll post all of that on my social media pages and on Jaico's social media pages.
Yes. So thank you very much
I love
for
you.
this. I love you too. It's been a real pleasure, privilege and truly an honor. Oh, this is beautiful. And best wishes to your book and to everyone who reads it. May they have the same anubhav or at least a tiny anubhav of what you had when you stood here on the banks of Mother Ganga. Jai Ganga.
Jai Gange. Jai Gange.